Moi YouTube! Lähdetään jatkaan sivutehtäviä. Sivutehtävän nimi on In Sickness and in Health. Eli menemme Elsweyriin. Tuosta hypätään noin. Siinä meillä tehtävää jo odottaa. Jutellaan vähän aikaa hänelle.
Vasby cannot understand. Only puddles remain in the Adaptorium cisterns, but still Silojo forbids this one to act. Our Adaptorium, Srendar's cradle, is parched by a drought. We rely on the Anequina aqueduct to supply our water, but something halted the flow. Now adepts and pilgrims go thirsty. We tend to the sick here. Without water, many of them may die. No, and we never will if Silojo gets his way. He yowls about the risks, but Vasby is not the saucer-eyed kitten she was when Silojo found her. This one must fix this. You're a warrior, yes? Would you escort Vasby to investigate the aqueduct?
Yes, I'll help you.
Thank you for helping, Rook. We should investigate the nearest gate of the aqueduct, just south of here. Srendar willing, we will find whatever blocks the water there. Vasby will meet you soon. This one must speak to Silojo before she leaves. No. My teachers examined the Order's histories and found no evidence of droughts in the past. But we live in curious times, yes? Dragons fly, dead walk. A broken aqueduct would not seem out of place. Vasby does not think so. Before the water reaches Srendar's cradle, it passes Rimen. And for all the city's problems, a drought is not one of them. That means the flow is blocked somewhere between the city and the Adaptorium. The Adaptorium itself? I know only that our ancestors built it in the days of 16 kingdoms. Vasby has no ears for ancient history. This one does know that the Adaptorium has always been a place of healing, a refuge for all, no matter how ill. We do what we can, but Vasby fears it is not enough. Many come with seared flesh and blackened lungs, from the flames and smoke, you see. Others come with broken limbs. Most of our palliatives and salves require water, so you see the urgency, yes?
Yes.
About Vasby? Oh, this one's life is not so exciting, but if you insist. Vasby is an initiate and servant of Srendar. A healer in training also. Silojo and the other monks raised this one here in the cradle. Most learn the craft, but not all have the passion for it that this one does. Silojo says it is Vasby's calling. This one thinks he is right.
This one. Se on aika jännä sanoa this one.
Yes. Vasby's parents had... This was in the time of the flu, you see. Many orphans came to Srendar's cradle in those days. Most of them were not as lucky as Vasby. Silojo cared for this one like a daughter. He still does, as you can see. No, this was not so long ago, Walker. You remember the groans and hacking coughs, yes? The blood? Srendar's cradle's adepts healed as many as they could. But even the strongest tinctures and cleanest bandages fell short in the face of the flu.
Okei, lähdetään tutkimaan. First gate. Pitäköhän meidän mennä yläkautta vai? Miten me muuten voidaan tutkia?
I found it! We should examine the gate at the top of the ramp. I found it! We should examine the gate at the top of the ramp. Open and dry, as expected. Hopefully we'll find the blockage at the second gate. Busby hopes we can find the problem soon. Otherwise we may have to investigate the Bandar Span.
Bandar Span?
A portion of the aqueduct that runs through Bandar's litter. A canyon to the east of the Adaptorium. Silojo forbids us to go there, ever since this one was a Jakajit. old moon tales. Clan-mothers say the stone pillars of the canyon were Banda's children. Elkosh turned them to stone as a reprisal for one of the bandit god's pranks. The trickster hid the pillars in this canyon where they would be warm and safe. Vasby does not know. She has, at times, heard whispers from the older adepts. Something about the Nahatan flu. This one asked Silojo outright about the place years ago. He only shook his head and said it was far, far from Srenda's light. Vasby will be right behind you, but be careful, Walker. Silojo can be overprotective, but he would not resort to lies to hold us back. The dangers of the wastes are real, as you know. Truly, I hate to worry him, but Vasby must do this. Follow the line of the aqueduct east. It should lead you straight to the next gate. Vasby will meet you there. Ha! You protect me by clearing the way, Walker. This one wants to take a moment to study this gate, in case we must fix one later. Vasby will be safe. You will stop worrying, yes? Caught you! Vasby is a quick study, yes? Let's examine this new gate. Dry. Zispo. Wait, what is this? Curious. This scrap of cloth. Vasby knows it well. It is part of a Srendar adept's habit. One of the old ones we don't wear anymore. Could an adept have been out here? Vasby does not think anyone wore it. The way it is torn, it looks like someone used it to dress a wound. Do you see the stains? This one smells blood too. A warning, perhaps. Or a clue. Maybe. Vasby is no investigator. But finding something like this near the gate feels like a sign. We should find the person, if only to make sure they are not badly hurt, yes?
Yes.
We could start by searching around the columns that hold the aqueduct up. Someone gravely injured may have rested in the structure's shadow. No time to waste, Walker. Let's go. Certain. After the worst of the Nahatan flu had passed, Silujo and the others burned every scrap of cloth touched by the illness. Quilts, linens, and yes, even their habits. Nothing remained of them, aside from paintings in the cloisters. It appears that way, yes. Come, whoever this belonged to may need our help.
Okay, goodbye. Below. Chill.
Another shred of a habit? The blood seems more spotty. From a sword, maybe. Let's keep looking. The blood trail goes cold, yes? But what is that? A cameo? The face looks... This was not dropped by accident, Walker. There must be more to find.
Thirst for virtue, composed by a friend. Okay.
This is a nursery rhyme, isn't it? Like the one Vasby read every night as a kitten. Srendar's mercy. Please hurry, Walker!
Trying clothed.
Swaddlecloth? Vasby recognizes that pattern. Come, let's keep looking, come!
Below. Näkyykö siellä mitään? Kolikot.
And we find a death coin lost, Of course. Something... the bloody bandages, the cameo, and swaddle cloth. All these trinkets and mementos lead to a forbidden place. Bandar's litter. Busby has not been totally honest with you, Walker. This one has a very personal stake in this business. The drought. It's because of me. That is why Busby insisted on being the one to investigate. Every year, on this one's birthday, someone leaves a gift outside the cloisters. Gifts like the nursery rhyme, coin, and cameo we found, you see? Days after the aqueduct ran dry, the gift giver left a jug of cold, fresh water outside this one's door. It was a message, you see, for Busby. Now we find these dressings and keepsakes, all leading to Bandar's litter. Our answers are there. Old ghosts haunt this place. Angry spirits that moan and howl curses in the night. Silujo always insisted we stay away. I hate to disobey him, but we have no choice. The last sluice gate and the person we pursue are both inside. Are you prepared?
Yes, let's get moving. I guess it's this way. Oh. Oh. Oliko siinä jo joku? Ei.
Wait! Busby saw someone! Why do they run? We do not mean them any harm.
Let's catch him.
There they go. Is that the same one as before?
Nope. Täällähän on monta ne.
Let's split up. We can corner him.
Täällähän on kuin paljon ne.
Where's Busby, beloved child? Finally you have come home at last.
Beloved, what? I don't... We only want to restore the water.
Water? No, no, no. You come for answers, child. Answers from ashes. Take up to our camp at the Bandar Gate. Kill the other, please. Scouring fire will claim Sarinda's cradle soon enough.
Waspi. Missä on Waspi?
Quickly! Over here! Silujo saw everything. We must save Busby. Quickly, please! I may not be Busby's father, but I feel a father's love for her. What parent would let their child wander the Kaj with a stranger? Silujo followed at a distance, but could not stop Busby in time. The stricken cats took her deeper into the canyon. The flu. Time heals some wounds and causes others to fester. Sometimes even the greatest healer cannot see all ends. Forgive me. Silujo is an old cat. He rambles. We must go to the Bandar Gate to halt the flames and save my Busby.
All right, let's go save Waspi.
There is a cavern deep within the litter. If memory serves, it ascends to the Bandar Gate. We will find the aqueduct blockage and Busby there. Come, we must hurry. Silujo will try to make these sick, scarred cats see reason. To cure a sickness, a healer must know the ailment's cause. Old hatreds are not so different. We lose time discussing this. Have faith that all will proceed as Srendar wishes.
Goodbye.
These sick, scarred, you see, we call them the stricken. After they came to Srendar's cradle once for healing, But the king's vizier would have put our adeptorium to the torch if he knew we harbored the sick. You should know the reason they hate us. It is my fault. They wish to burn our home because I cast them into Bandar's litter to die.
Optional.
Wait, Silujo must speak to you. Before we go further, we must speak. The Bandar Gate lies beyond that door. The Stricken's leader as well, Busby's true father. His love and sorrow has turned to hatred for me. Silujo has no illusions. Death waits for this one through this passage, for the actions of his past. In the days of the flu, chaos reigned. Many came to Srendar's cradle seeking healing, but fear followed the illness. With so many of the ill huddled in our adeptorium, the people saw it as a breeding ground for more sickness. Sutabi, the king's vizier, marched on the adeptorium and threatened us with torch and sword. If the sick remained in the cradle, he vowed to burn it to ash. So I ushered the sick and dying here to Bandar's litter and left them to die. They had no choice. We had no choice. When you tend to the sick for as long as Silujo has, you cannot help but grow detached, callous even. If I kept the sick with us, many healthy Khajiit would die. Khajiit, like Vasby. Vasby's parents came to us, carrying her in swaddling clothes. They were both near death, or so I thought. But Vasby, their child, was healthy as the spring. What could this one do? Her parents had no chance, but she did. I took her in, raised her. Silujo does not fear this death, if it will save Vasby. Before it happens, though, this one must ask. You now know the story of Srendar's cradle, of the sick left to die. When this one is gone, Vasby will have questions. What will you tell her? Silujo thanks you, Walker. Choosing who lives and who dies weighs on the soul, but as a healer and a leader, I must make hard decisions. If Silujo had to do it all over again, he would make the same choice. Now come. Vasby waits.
Let's go. Vieläkö?
Silujo, no! This is my fault. Srendar, forgive me. He breathes, but faintly. Vasby will take him back to the cradle. My hands won't stop shaking. The Stricken's leader, Hulzar, wields horrible magic. He told me that the adepts took me from him, that they stole everything from him. He said his... Yes, he said he left me gifts so that I would not forget him. But seeing me grow closer to Silujo, closer to the Order, twisted his tail to the breaking point. He lured Vasby here to Bandar's litter. Now he plans to burn the adept. Please, Walker, if there is any way to spare Hulzar, have mercy. Vasby knows he is mad, but to lose two fathers at once. Srendar, help me. This one is so lost. Moons, why did Silujo come here? He must have known the Stricken would kill him. This one only needed saving because she disobeyed Silujo. He came here because of Vasby. He dies because of Vasby. This one knows. Hulza told me about how he and his wife, my mother, came to the cradle with a tiny Vasby in their arms. He described the long march to Bandar's litter and the cold, moonless nights that followed. More suffering on my account. How could it not be Vasby's fault? Had Hulza's wife not carried Vasby in her womb, they never would have come to Srenda's cradle. Had Vasby not sought to restore the water, Silujo would live. Please, just find Hulzar. Vasby must work.
Jep. Täällä ei oo taistelua.
Asby. I'm sorry.
Oliko se tässä? Hei.
Think you can keep me from my vengeance? Come deep.
Enpäs lähetä hiilaamaan yhtä.
I'm sorry.
Ne on exactly the same. Niin, se tehtävä saatiin vissiin tehtyä ja katsotaan miten käy. Katsotaan miten käy. Vaspi on tää. Nope.
You return. Good. Vasby already loses too much today. Silujo did not... Vasby could not... He is gone. His soul wanders the sands behind the stars now.
Niin, mä tapoin sun toiseen isän.
The other adepts mourn for him as Vasby does. But they do not know the truth of his death, or the cost of the water you restored. But you know. Vasby knows. And it may be too much for her to bear. Vasby loved this place. She idolized Silujo and the other healers. She prayed to Srendar for the strength and wisdom to serve as well as those who came before. But Srendar's cradle is a lie. My dream is a lie. What is Vasby to do now? The people of Elsweyr think that the adepts of the cradle worked miracles to stave off the flu. Now I see that they only hid the sick in the wilderness to let them die. How can this one just ignore that? How can I dedicate my life to such a place? Yes, this one will stay. But I will not lie about what happened here. Silujo made an impossible choice, but the people deserve to hear the truth. Thank you, Walker. We only just met, but you are the closest thing to family that Vasby has left. Brothers, sisters, Vasby must speak about Silujo's past. Before he passed, this one learned the truth of the stricken, of the role we healers played in their suffering. No longer. In Shrendar's name, we must go to Bandar's litter. We must help the stricken, and we must try to heal this age-old wound, for their sake and for ours.
Okei. Voi, mitähän mä ottaisin? Tai ottaa tuo. Voi voiko hankala päätös. Venten tenten teilika menten. 22. 22. Tetan tuo. Noilla. Joo, lopetellaan tää video. Tuo vaihdetaan tuonne. Tämä video tähän. Ja jatketaan uudella videolla. Kiitos vaan katsojille sinne. Moi moi. Kiitoksia kaikille katselijoille, jotka jakso katsoa tämän videon. Muistakaa tilata kanava, niin pysytte tämmöisen vanhemman tubettajan mukana. Ei muuta kuin moi moi!